Welcome to today's tutorial for the month of November, which the birthstone of the month is Citrine. I know it is Topaz, but for the sake of this video, it is Citrine. And to everyone who had a birthday in the month of November, happy birthday. I hope you had a wonderful day. It was filled with happiness, health, and love. And this is the look for Citrine for the month of November. So if you're curious to know how I got this look, then keep on watching. Hello everybody. I am so excited to be filming today's tutorial for the month of November because my mother is a November baby. So I am very familiar with the birthstone for November. So I go by the traditional listing, which has Topaz as the birthstone for the month of November. However, the palette that we'll be using today from BH Cosmetics uses the new listing for birthstones, which is Citrine. So anytime I do these types of videos where somebody who's significantly close to me has a birthday in the birthstone month, I find those to be super exciting. And before I start rambling, I'm gonna go ahead and start applying product. By now, you guys should be familiar with this, the LYS Glow Serum. I've been loving this stuff, as you can see. Ooh, I'm trying not to blind you with the light here. I am thoroughly enjoying as the product in this glass bottle is going down every time I film. So I definitely love this product. So today's makeup is going to be inspired by my mom, who doesn't wear makeup at all. So I will be doing makeup that caters to how I would imagine she would wear makeup if she did. Growing up, my mom has never really worn makeup outside of lipstick. She's always been a jewelry and a perfume person. So my love of makeup did not come from her. So in many aesthetics, me and my mom are polar opposites when it comes to a lot of things. So but I'm excited to do a makeup look that would be dedicated to her. Now she has been my guinea pig over the years when I want to see like certain lipstick colors, or especially when I would get free samples of stuff, I would get colors. Like my mom loves neutral colors and like nude brown colors. So whenever I would get a sample lipstick, and I'm just gonna massage this into my skin today, that's what I feel like doing. So I'm just gonna massage the LYS serum in, just to give myself a little massage while I talk a little bit. Yeah, I would always get samples for her in order, maybe if it's in the color scheme that she like. I know that she likes nude, she likes light colors, she likes gold, she likes brown. Maybe she'll try this, maybe she'll wear that. Most of the time to no avail, unless it was a lip product. That was the only thing that I know that she actually wore that I gave her. But I never stopped trying. But she would, on occasions, if I said, "Ma, I really need to test this makeup product, can you put it on?" She would put it on just to appease me and immediately wipe it off. So I appreciate her just, you know, doing that for me. And I'm just rubbing the product in, giving myself a massage, and I'm rubbing upwards. We should always be rubbing our skin upwards in order to defy gravity. We definitely don't want to put more wrinkles in our skin than we will already naturally develop by pulling on the skin. So that's why you see me rubbing my skin upward. And now that that's done, I'm going to go in with my Laneige lip mask, and this is Berry. I'm going to be using mostly lightweight products today. I imagine if my mom were to wear any type of makeup, it would be very minimalistic makeup. Just enough to spruce herself up, but nothing to dramatically have a lot of coverage or anything like that. So with that being said, what I'm going to use for foundation today, I'm actually going to use a skin tint. I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop blurring skin tint, and I'm using the color 14. I actually really like this for the summer months because the color can match so many people. So for me, in this skin tint, I have 3 colors that I can wear. 14 being the deepest, but I can also wear 13, and I think I can also wear 12 if I remember correctly. So I was very unsure of which one of these colors that I should get, and I got a sample from Sephora, and I saw where I could use multiple of these, so that was something that was very exciting to me. And I'm actually going to apply it, and I'm taking my time. I'm shaking the product up. I haven't worn this in a while because I've been wearing my other foundations, and plus it's cooler outside, so I want a little bit more coverage. The way Rihanna showed to apply this was literally just to drop it on the skin and use your fingers to blend it in. Now, anybody who knows me knows I am not a big fan of putting anything on my hand or rubbing it in with my hand, but I am going to do that today because, like I said, the coverage that I'm going for is what I believe my mom would wear. So she's not going to wear anything that's heavy. She just do enough just to spruce her skin up. So I'm going to apply products today that I know will give that effect. And I've actually applied this with a sponge before, and I have to say that I like the coverage that I got better with my fingers, because I actually think I got better coverage with my fingers. So the context of this skin tint, I wouldn't say it's watery per se, but it's not the firmest. So with that being said, I tend to think of formulas that are a little more fluid or more liquid-like to be thinner in context. So you put them on your skin, they don't give you as much coverage. And so with those, I tend to apply with a brush versus a sponge, because when you put in liquidy textures into a sponge, it's a sponge, so it's going to absorb liquid. That's what it's created to do. So I think when you use a sponge, you should use it on a consistency of a foundation that's very creamy, much more thick, so the sponge is not going to absorb as much product. A brush for me doesn't absorb as much product, and you can move it around as you see necessary. So this is the first layer, and I really like this because I can still see some of my skin imperfections up under it. And I just used the glow serum. It's supposed to be a primer, but it's more for hydration of the skin. And so this is my first time using the Ease Drop on top of the LYS. And what I like about it is that, to me, observing my face, the glow that's left behind from the Love Yourself Beauty skin, or excuse me, glow serum is still visible up under the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop. Like, my skin has some luminescence still because the serum is still shining through the skin. So I still look very skin light, more put together, but I do feel like my face looks very, very even. And so you can see it doesn't really hide any hyperpigmentation. So if you're looking for something that's got more coverage than this, then this is not what you'd be looking for. But it's marketed as a skin tint, so it's not meant to significantly hide any imperfections. It's more so to give you a bit of coverage and even you out, so you have more of a even canvas. And so now with the second coat, you can see that the hyperpigmentation is covered up more. It's not completely 100% gone, but you can build the coverage up with the skin tint. And I feel like, again, I'll say this, when you use your fingers, I feel like you get the best color payoff with this using your fingers, because you're not absorbing the product in any type of tool, no brush, no sponge, anything like that. You're directly pressing it into the skin. All right, and then even at looking at my fingers, it's not too much going on my fingers, more than I would personally like, because it's on my hands, period. But still, I like the way that my skin looks. All right, moving on. Next, we'll be using the Kosas, and so this is the, I believe it's called the Refreshing Concealer. When I looked at this is not my first time using it. If you've seen my other videos, this is more like my 4th or 5th time using this product. And as I always say, I don't have anything but good things to say about this. It's very skin loving. It's very forgiving in the sense that you do not have to rush. You can take your time with using this product. And I like the color, because this color, and this is number 7, this gives me the coverage in the sense of it's almost the same color as my skin. Once it goes into the skin, once it dries down, it gives me a little bit of lift, but it's not a significant difference, which is what I'm going for today. And so I'm just going to use my Sonia Kashuk concealer brush to push this into my skin today. And I'm just going to start up here on my forehead and just press it into the skin using stippling motions. So I did swipe a little bit with this, but I'm going to start pressing. And I'm more prone to doing a bit more swiping with a concealer brush, especially on a skin tint versus a foundation, because it's a thin veil. So it's not like there's a lot of product that you're going to have brush marks in, because we use the skin tint. And so while I just press this into the skin, and these are highlighting areas that I'm pressing into the skin now. So where the sun would naturally hit your face, this is where I'm pressing into the skin with the concealer. This concealer is very good for hydration. So if you're a person who has dry skin, this would be a concealer that I would suggest for you, because it's very, very creamy, very, very hydrating. Nothing but good things to say about it. And if you have mature skin, it's very good for mature skin as well. It's not going to settle into any wrinkles or fine lines that you have, and it's going to give you a plump, hydrating effect. So that's always a good thing. But yeah, growing up, one of the things that I remember my mom doing, she was a person who really liked doing her nails and her toenails. She always wore fingernail polish. When I was younger, she would wear colors. And then by the time I got into middle school, she had transitioned to those like holographic colors, cotton candy. I was so sick of cotton candy. Everybody loved the color cotton candy, that iridescent holographic color. That was all the rage back then. All the church women, if they went to go get their nails done, they wanted to have some color, but they didn't want to have that burgundy color or red. They would put on that cotton candy. I was so sick of cotton candy. So yeah. And perfume. I remember my mom had Chanel No. 5 perfume, and I would smell, and I was like, I don't know why she liked this, because I did not like the way it smelled, but she had that perfume. But my mom has always been a jewelry person. She's had a lot of rings. That's one of the things I remember. My mom had a lot of rings and a lot of bracelets. I never saw her wear necklaces that much, except to go to church. But one thing I did always see her wear was rings. So, those are the things that I remember. The only time I ever saw my mom even wearing lipstick was to go to church. So makeup was really not a big thing in our house at all. So where my love for makeup comes from is a good mystery, to be honest. Even my mom has asked me, why do you like makeup so much? Nobody in the family really wears makeup. And that's true. Like, none of the women in my family wear a good amount of makeup. Like, I have cousins who wore foundation and eyeliner, and that was it. There wasn't like any rouge, no blush, no highlighter, no eyeshadow or anything like that. Just mostly foundation to even out the skin and some eyeliner. So in that sense, I'm a bit of an anomaly in my family when it comes to makeup. So, all right, now that we've pressed that into the skin, if you look at my face as a whole, you can tell where I applied it on the skin, because I look more highlighted in those areas. Like, even looking here where the light shines, you can see it's a tiny bit brighter here around instead of the perimeter of my skin here, which is a good thing, because you want to look like you have dimension to your face. Whenever you put foundation on and you don't go in with a highlight, well, I won't say highlight, but you don't go in with a concealer to accentuate the high points of your face, or go in with a contour to give you dimension, you can tend to look flat. And so I don't like looking flat, because when you don't wear foundation, your skin has different colors all over the place. Nobody is one color all over your face. You have natural contours all over the face that give you the dimension that makes up your face palette. So moving on, I'm going to go ahead and set my face. Today, I'm going back to my old faithful, try not to blind you, my LYS Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder in the color Brilliance, which is a banana color. And before I started using the one size, which is what I've been using in my other videos of late, that's what I was using. And I'm just going to take this puff that I bought on Amazon. As I stated before, Rose and Beauty swears by these puffs that you can buy on Amazon, and I must say they are quite useful. I like them a lot. They're really inexpensive. You can get like five or six in a pack for like $5. So, and I'm just going to pick it up and press it into the puff, and then I'm just going to press it into the skin. And one of the things that I like is that this has a yellow hue to it. So I'm not putting like a white cast over my skin. And I'm just pressing this in to set. And a lot of people don't understand or don't know why people use powder to set up under their eyes. So there are several reasons people use powder to set up under their eyes. One of them is to prevent your concealer from creasing. So we naturally, right up under this area of our eye, we have little baggies. And with time, products that you put in that area are going to crease. So pressing powder into those areas help to prevent creasing to start happening as soon as possible. Creasing is going to happen regardless. You can't stop it from happening, but you can assist in how long it takes for it to happen. And so when you powder, you are adding extra life and preventing creasing from happening immediately. So just looking at this, you can tell that this part of my eye is set. It looks more airbrushed, and I like that. It's also, if you're a person who sweats, when you go in and put in or press in a powder into the skin, it helps with if you sweat in a sense, so your makeup won't run all over your face. It's giving you extra added protection. And so I'm just pressing this into the skin. And one of the things I do actually like about this puff, I don't know, with the sponge, I feel like I'm more prone to possibly just maybe swiping a little bit, but with the puff, I feel like I'm required to press into the skin, if that makes any sense. And so also it helps to give you that extra lightness in these highlight areas that you may not necessarily get with your concealer. And so if your concealer might not be as light as you want it, or it's the wrong color, like maybe you get something that's too light, you can use a powder to go over it and even it out, so it won't appear too bright on the face. And I really like this banana color for me because I feel like you can see where it brightens me up some, but it's not so yellow. It is not so far away in color from my natural complexion that it looks abnormal. It does not leave a white cast on my skin, so I look more lifelike. When you use translucent powders that are white, they can leave a white cast on your skin because you're not as fair as white powder. So we typically have people with more melanin in their skin typically have a more golden hue, so to speak. And that looks better than having a stark white color on your skin. So just going in and pressing it into the skin. Then I'm just going to press right here. And I'm a person who tends to sweat very profusely, so that's one of the reasons I take the time to powder. A lot of people would just powder right here, set up under their under eyes, and that's fine if that's all you want to do. But because I sweat profusely all over my face, I tend to powder my whole face. And I use the translucent or the yellow powder in the areas where I want the highlight to still be present on my skin. And then I will go in with a regular skin colored powder and go all over my face. All right, so we're going to do a light, super light contour today. I'm going to use my Hand Dash Cosmetics Beautopsy palette to contour. So my mom would not contour even if she wore makeup, so this is purely me because I like it. But today I'm going to do a super light one. So I'm just gonna go into the color Feel right here that you can tell is well loved to give myself a very slight contour. Just enough to give me a little dimension to my face. Nothing super heavy today. And I'm using a super old BH Cosmetics brush. It might even break in the midst of me using this. This thing is so old. In my last video, the spoolie that came in this set broke on camera. That's how well loved these brushes are. I've used Morphe brushes. I have used Sephora brushes. I'm pretty sure I've used some other brushes that I can't think of right at the moment. But I always end up coming back to BH Cosmetics brushes. Always. I just feel like for the price point, you can't beat BH Cosmetics brushes. And these brushes last forever. This set that I'm using, I know I have had this brush for at least 5 years. I'm pretty sure I've had this brush closer to like 6 or 7 years, to be honest. But I'll say 5 because I can actually remember having it back 5 years ago. I don't remember before that. So, like the Morphe brushes, I like them, but they just, I don't know, they don't do it for me. And there are lots of other brands out there. I know Sonia G brushes, and I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head right at this particular moment, but very popular brushes out there. And I just love BH Cosmetics. You can get a set. I like being able to buy sets of brushes because I will use brush sets. When I buy a set, I typically use all the brushes in that one set when I'm doing my face. With this one, almost, well, I won't say almost all of the brushes are gone at this point, but I did make an effort to try to support Black-owned brands. And so the brushes that I used for my eyeshadow are from Colored Rain. And I bought just their eyeshadow set. I haven't bought like their face brushes yet. Now I will say, Colored Rain, I really, really like their brushes. If I had to pick another one outside of BH Cosmetics, it would be Colored Rain. I like those better than BH Cosmetics, better than Morphe and any of the other brush brands that I've tried. BH Cosmetics, Colored Rain gave BH Cosmetics a run for their money. I can say that with honesty, especially for their eyeshadow brushes. I think I would say I like the eyeshadow brushes from Colored Rain better than the BH Cosmetics, but for the face brushes, I like the BH Cosmetics brushes better for the face, if that makes any sense at all. All right, so I like that. All right, so back to the Kosas Cloud Set setting powder in the color Pillowy. I really like this setting powder, and I'm just going to swirl it in with another BH Cosmetics. I have bought so many sets from BH Cosmetics just because one was on sale or there was a collab. This one is the #1 from It's My Ray Ray, and she is a YouTuber that I followed for many, many years. And so when she did her collaboration with BH Cosmetics, I went directly on the website and bought the palette and the brushes to support her. Everybody has their own likes and paths in life. And when I see people out here really trying to do well for themselves, I definitely want to support people in any way that I can to help them, you know, help themselves out. And so that year, I think I bought all of my friends. It's a group of us, 4 of us that have been friends since middle school. Well, we've known each other since middle school. I've been friends with them since middle school. And then my other friend became friends with them after we got out of college. I got everybody the It's My Ray Ray palette for Christmas that year. So, yeah, So I do my best to support them. Okay, typically for me, I would go ahead and set my face at this point because like I said earlier, I sweat profusely. But my mom is so blessed enough that my mom hardly ever sweats. She sweats like, you know, like she doesn't have a deficiency. But, you know, some people just don't sweat like that. And so I did not inherit that gene from her. So my mom doesn't hardly sweat at all. And I pour buckets. I inherited that from my father, who pours buckets also. And I wish that was a trait that I had inherited from my mom, not to sweat so much. I must say that I'm jealous of that. So, anywho, so yeah, so I'm not going to spray today. And then now I'm going to move on to eyeshadow. So for today's start of the show, the BH Cosmetics Birthstone Citrine for November palette. So I have to say, out of all the palettes that I've dealt with this year, which is one for every month, I think this is one of the prettiest ones that I've seen from these collections, to be honest. And it's a neutral palette, but I really like the colors in this. I feel like they're super vibrant. I don't know, like this one just appeals to me more so than the other palettes. And so this color, I'll go ahead and swatch these like I usually do. But I have to say, this is one of the few palettes when I actually opened it and looked at it, I could see myself doing multiple looks with this palette. Now, to me, this is what I would call more of like an everyday palette, because you have your neutrals right here. Then you have like a pop of color here. If you want a shimmer, there we go. They have some shimmer colors here, one glitter and, well, the shimmer color here, and then this yellow color here. So what I was a little bit upset about, I know Topaz to be the birthstone for the month of November, because I've gotten my mom several birthstone things over the years, and it was always for Topaz. So the fact that they use Citrine, I was a little about it, but that's neither here nor there. So going in with the star of the show, which is Citrine. So that gives me a gold color. I'm more of, like I said, Topaz, which gives me this color here, more like an Eye of the Tiger type sort of thing, this color right there. So, but again, this is one of my favorite palettes that they've had in the Gemstone Birthstone collection. So then Generous. And you know, whenever I do this, I always think about the names for the colors. So Generous. So my mom is definitely generous. She does her best to help people as best as she can. We'll go into this color right here. I think this word out of this whole palette describes my mom the most, which is inquisitive. My mom asks a million questions. Oh, I like that. But she always says to me, she said, well, if I don't ask you, you're not going to tell me anything. Which is not true. I do tell my mom stuff. But my mom has her threshold of how much information she wants to know based on what you tell her. So I think that's the most accurate word to describe her. The next color, this yellow color, is Unique. Okay. So it comes off as more mustard than yellow, which I'm fine with. I actually like that. And then we'll come to this color, this shimmer color called Determined. Yes, my mother is very much determined. When she makes up her mind about something, oh, I really like that color. I thought it would actually be more bronzed. When looking in the pan, it looks a little bit deeper than that, but this is kind of like it's bronze, but in the light it kind of looks like a rose gold color. But yes, once my mom makes her mind up to do something, you're pretty much not going to change it. And I think a lot of times she'll say something, and if I don't agree with it per se, she'll just say, okay. It doesn't mean that she changed her mind, but she's just gonna let bygones be bygones about it. And then the next color is Dynamic. So this is giving me a burgundy color, but it might come off as that bronze. Yeah, so this is like a burgundy bronze to me. And then the last color, the shimmer color in this palette right here, is Brilliant. And this has reflects of purple in it. It's not really picking them up on camera. In my lighting, they look green and purple. On the screen, it just looks green and yellow. But so yeah, I immediately came up with a look when I looked at this palette. Most of the time, y'all have seen me on camera, and I'm just gonna go into my Fenty Beauty Amplifying Eyeshadow Primer. Most of the time, y'all have seen me on camera, and I'm sitting here looking lost on camera because nothing is immediately coming to my head. And when I film these videos, I've had the palette. Sometimes I've had the palette for a week. Sometimes I've had it for like 2 or 3 weeks. It just kind of depends on when I get to filming them. And this is, I want to say, the first palette that I've gotten where when I opened it, I immediately had thoughts of what look I wanted to do. So I'm excited about that. So the eyeshadow look is going to be a look I would wish that I could see on my mom. So I'm going to go into this color Generous right here, and I'm going to sweep that into my crease. And I'm using the Colored Rain Mini blending brush. And I'm just going to blend that in. And I think these would all be colors that she would actually wear if you could shear them out. Not as pigmented as they are in the pan, but enough for them to be a good wash of color on the eye, so it can be seen but not extremely heavy. So I intend to be rather light-handed with my colors today. So I'm just going in. This is a BH Cosmetics 119 brush. And I'm literally just going to go in to buff these colors out because I don't want them to be super pigmented. And then I'm just going to go into my other eye, into the crease. And then just coming back with the other brush and shearing it out. And I think one of the things people think about makeup is that you have to have super pigmented colors to make a statement. And that's not true. Not every occasion requires you to have standout eyeshadow. It doesn't require you to be able to be seen from 50 feet down the block. And I'm just going to go in quickly with my Mary Kay eyeliner and eyebrow brush. And I'm just going to go through and brush my brows. Now, this is one thing that I am thankful that I inherited from my mom is nice eyebrows. Nobody in my family does anything to their eyebrows at all. Nobody. We've all, you know, gotten them plucked and shaped at one point, but it's not like a necessity to do that. It would, yes, it makes it look more clean, but even if all we do is just brush on my mom's side of the family, like we can get a decent eyebrow shape with just brushing. So we have nice natural eyebrow shapes and thick eyebrows. Everybody on my mom's side of the family has thick, full eyebrows. So that much I am thankful that I did inherit from my mom. Yep. So that's all I'm going to do for that. So I'm going to try something. I hope it doesn't come off like super, super pigmented, but I'm going to do a gradient on my lid. So I'm going to start in the inner third of my eye with Citrine. Then for the middle part of my eye, I'm going to use Determined. And then for the third part of my eye, I'm going to use the color Dynamic. So I'm going to go in very lightly with these colors. And I'm going to use a brush to apply these because I don't want them to come off super pigmented. So we're going to go into Citrine first. I'm just going to pick up a little bit. Okay. And I'm just going to come in a little closer so you guys can see what's going on. So one of the things about these BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes, and I've talked about this before, these palettes are only $9. And so palettes are not something I would buy from BH Cosmetics. I think they're a good, like if you have a daughter who's just getting into makeup or have a child that's just getting into makeup and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I think it's a brand for beginner makeup enthusiasts to try to figure out what color schemes you like without spending an excessive amount of money on anything. All right, so the colors in this palette are not heavily pigmented. I would have had to spray some setting solution on the brush to get these to pick up, or either probably went in with my finger, but that works for me today because like I said, I'm not trying to have super pigmented colors today because that's not my mom's aesthetic. I'm already going overboard because I'm gonna have 5 colors on my eye and she probably would have stopped at 1. All right, and then I'm moving into this color Dynamic right here for the middle part of my eye. But that goes back to what I was saying, like it's not a necessity for all makeup to be super pigmented. We like to pay, if we're gonna pay $50 or $40 for an eyeshadow palette, we don't want eyeshadow colors to come out looking as faint as these do. But again, these eyeshadow palettes here are only $9, and right now BH Cosmetics is having like an 80% off sale. So these palettes are like $4.49. So I wouldn't expect for Pat McGrath quality of eyeshadows from a $4.49 palette or a $9 palette. If it does, great. But if it doesn't, I'm not disappointed by the fact that it's not giving me that payoff either. And one of the things that my mom has always taught me is like, you do not have to wear makeup. Makeup is a choice to wear. You are naturally pretty, so you do not have to wear makeup. And she was like, no woman has to wear makeup. It's really what society has taught you, is that makeup is a necessity. It's something that you need to look pretty. Makeup is just an enhancement of your natural beauty. And I think That's one of the reasons why my mom gets concerned sometimes when she sees me wear so much makeup, that I might not feel like I'm pretty in my own skin. But Mom, no, that is not the case. Whenever you watch this, I just like makeup, and I think it's a creative way to express how you feel about yourself. Like, there are times when I want to wear pink, and I may not want to wear pink clothes, or I may not have a pink shirt, but I can wear it in makeup, or I think it's pretty and I want it on my face. But it's never that I feel unattractive and I have to hide behind makeup to feel pretty. And that's also something that I want to communicate to my viewers out there. Makeup is not a necessity. It's an enhancement. You should always feel good in your own skin and not need to hide behind makeup to feel pretty or confident about yourself. So, and I think that that's a motto that the women in our family live by. Makeup is not a necessity. Live in your own truth of who you are as a person. Because at the end of the day, whoever you get with, you're not going to be in makeup 24 hours a day. There will be times when you have to show your natural face. And if you can't be comfortable in your own skin and who you are as a person, that's a problem first and foremost that should be addressed. So, all right, moving to the last color over here, which is Dynamic, which was this burgundy bronze color. Picking a little bit up, and I'm going on the outer third of my eye. Oh, that's a really pretty color. I quite like that. And that's something that I'm actually very thankful that my mom has instilled in me, that makeup is not a necessity to be pretty in your own skin. And I think that's something that parents should tell their kids, that you are beautiful and to be comfortable in your own skin. Love yourself. Don't hide behind what the world thinks you should be. Be who you were created to be. Because everybody in this planet has a purpose for the reason they exist in this world, and you should own that. Because there are certain things that you and only you are able to do. All right, and so now I'm just literally going over the colors just to give them a little bit more impact, and this is specifically for me. All right, and then I'm just gonna pick up a little bit and put this on my bottom lash line here on the outer third. All right. And then I'm just going to take that big blending brush that I had, and I'm just going to drop back in Generous just a little bit and go in here. And then clean up this crease some. Do the same on this side. Blend it out. All right. And so, as always in every video, I do try to use the glitter color that they have. For this color Brilliance, I'm just going to go into my inner tear duct area and add it. And I'm just going to use the Colored Rain Angle Liner brush to go in and pick up a little bit. Ooh. I'm not really a fan of this. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm just going to lightly tap that in there. I think it's more that I like the color of it. I just don't like the color of the glitter that's inside of it, because it's giving me green, and I don't want green in this look. All right, so that's all we're gonna do here. Yes, that's all we're gonna do with the palette. So one of my favorite palettes subtract the glitter color that we've had from BH Cosmetics this year. All right, so since this look is very light, I'm actually gonna go in and do my waterline for this look, and I'm using the McGRATH eyeliner pencil in the color shade, I think this is. Yes, so this is a brown eyeliner pencil. And I'm just going in. I don't want to use black because I don't want to make the line so harsh. So I'm using brown to line my waterline. And I like how it just gives me that little bit of lift. Because black can be too harsh, and it's not a necessity to wear black eyeliner, unless of course your complexion is a bit deeper to give that contrast. But a lot of times people use black because that's the norm. That's what they see people use the most. And I feel like brown can be a lot more becoming if people got used to it. All right. And so then I'm going to go into the Sephora eyeliner, waterproof liner, and I'm going to use brown. And I'm going to line the top of my eyes. So that's it. And then I'm just going to put on some mascara. As usual, I'm going to use my Maybelline Sky High Lashes. And like I said, I love this mascara. It's easy to use. It's a drugstore mascara. This reminds me a lot of the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara, to be honest. Because Bad Gal Bang is my favorite, I would say, like brand mascara. Or makeup store brand mascara, I guess that's a better way to say it. And then for drugstore, the Maybelline Sensational Sky High Lashes would be my favorite. But to me, they're quite similar. I would say this is a dupe for the Bad Gal Bang. I just think the Bad Gal Bang is a bit darker. Like, I feel like my lashes are super black with Bad Gal Bang. So I'm going to go in with blush, and I'm going to be using the Pat McGrath Labs Divine Blush and Glow Trio in Amber Allure. I have been loving this. I have been loving this. So we're going to go in with Paradise Venus as the blush, and then we'll go in with Venus Nectar here for the highlighter today. As long as you guys have been following me, you know that I love blush. I feel like blush can make or break a look. And I remember testing blush on my mom one day because she hasn't been a blush person. Excuse me, and she actually really liked blush. She really liked it. And so you guys, I literally just tapped into that pan twice. And this is the blush color payoff that I'm getting from tapping into that pan twice and it's still coming out. I will probably have these blushes for the rest of my life because I just don't see me hitting pan on this in this lifetime. If you only have to tap into it 2 times to get this much blush payoff, I just don't know when I run out. I really don't know when I run out. And then I'm going to my beloved fan brush, my rainbow fan brush, and going into Venus Nectar. And I'm just going to highlight. And what I love about this is that it's such a very muted highlight. I don't think you could ever even put too much of this highlight on, to be honest. Well, I take that back. You can always have too much of something. You can always overdo anything. But I think it would be very hard. I think that's a better way to say it, to specifically overdo this particular highlighter because of how it's made. I just like the subtle glow that it gives my face. All right, last but not least, lips. So as usual, I'm gonna wipe off my lip scrub or lip mask that we had on. And so for my mom, she's extremely simple when it comes to lipstick. There's no lip liner or anything like that involved. It's just the lip color. I'm going to use this Lime Crime lipstick in the color Penny. Every time I look at this, I think of my mom. I think part of it is because the packaging is floral and the color. When I picked up this color, I thought of my mom. This is one of the colors that was frequently in her arsenal. It was either a champagne gold color or it was a brown or copper of this color that she would always wear. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. And I think this color, no, I was gonna say it would have been a little bit too dark, but I remember as a kid, my mom had this lipstick color. It was a brown, literally just a plain matte brown in a black tube with gold on it. I have no idea what brand that was, but I just remember my mom putting that on every Sunday for years and just watching it wear down, And then after I got older and we go to the store, I'd be like, Mom, what about this color? And she was like, nope. The only color that I actually ever got her to try was like a champagne gold color. And then she replaced her brown with a champagne gold color. So to me, this color is the best of both worlds. It's like brown with the champagne mixed into it. And that's the final look, you guys. Hopefully my mom will like it and give me some likes on this video. I'll be back with the final look momentarily. All right, my loves. This is the final look. So this is very simple, very fall appropriate for the month of November, but nothing over the top. And when I look at this makeup look, I can honestly say I think this is something my mom would wear on a special occasion. Like if I was to get married or something like that, this would be the extent of what I think her makeup would look like. So thank you guys for joining me. To everybody out there who had a birthday in the month of November, especially my mom, happy birthday, mommy. I hope you had a fantastic month and a fantastic day. And for everybody else out there, I hope you had a fantastic, happy, healthy, and fun birthday. To all my viewers out there, thank you so much for your support and continuing to watch these tutorial videos. If you like them, please subscribe. If there's any other content that you want to see, or even if you just want to give me some suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Until the next time, take care, be healthy, and be safe. Bye.